Yo gamers, Nature here. Today we're going to cover a really good solo gold farm and possible level boost farm for hunters in WoW Season of Discovery. This farm is located in Uldaman, and I have to give a quick shout out to Zeroji, one of the best hunters in the game. Some of the viewers in our community saw him doing the farm and suggested we do a deep dive for y'all. I'll provide Zeroji's Twitch and the link in the description below for anyone looking for great hunter play. Now, first things first, we'll want to be survival spec. Just trust me here, this farm will be much harder without being survival, and I'll list the spec here. Second, let's touch base on the rooms we'll want to have for the run. We'll pick up Exposed Weakness, Serpent Spread, Trap Launcher, Lone Wolf, and on the gloves, we'll actually want to have both Explosive Shot and Chimera Shot. We'll switch back and forth. You can bring a second pair of gloves if you want to save 10 seconds, but not needed at all. Next, let's touch base on pets. Technically, Wolf is actually the best pet here for any type of like one pull farm, and the reason for that, Wolf has both Dash rank 2 and Howl. Howl, although it's true damage, therefore it's basically useless in like PvE. I'll go over that in more detail in the pet video or the guide, but Howl is actually low-key the best for doing these big AoE pulls. And the reason for that is when your pet pulls threat, or if you pull threat just by running into mobs, if you cast Howl, Howl will then pull threat off of you and back to your pet, and is great for this type of pull. But I will warn you, this is not necessary. You'll see I'm just using a level 37 cat because I was able to pick up Broken Tooth during the farm. Now, when we head to Uldaman, not a lot of people actually know this, but there is a side entrance to Uldaman. So you don't need any type of key or anything special to access the side entrance. It's located here, and you can simply just run in, and there's like 3 or 4 mobs that you need to run past, so you can just get past them pretty easy. As a side note, make sure you are checking the Broken Tooth locations. I'll list them here. There's actually 3 spawn locations, and Broken Tooth is a level 37 rare pet that's on an 8 or like 10-hour timer. It's somewhere in between there, and is pretty desirable since it's one of only 3 pets that has a 1.0 attack speed, the other 2 being bats that are ZG. So we don't even have access to ZG, and it's not even clear if we will have access to it later or when. Now, that makes this one of the best PvP pets in the game that we can get. And if you're not using Flanking Strike or other melee abilities that scale with damage, it's really good in PvE as well. So here's a quick macro that'll allow you to recast Eagle Eye over and over again to check the 3 spawn locations. So good luck on that. All right, with all that being out of the way, let's dive into it. There's really 4 main things you want to learn in order to do the pull. Number 1 is the ledge jump. This is fairly simple, but you use the ledge here to utilize killing the mobs. So you'll see me kill the first golem here. You'll want to practice this a tiny bit before you start, since it's easy to run over the pillar on the top and kind of like just fall past everything, which could be detrimental. So you'll want to just practice it a little bit to get you ready. Now, second, we'll want to equip Chimera Shot. For the next pull, the strategy on these 3 dwarves is to start the pull off with your Wyvern Sting, and this is why it's important to be survival, which will not only do more damage than your Serpent Sting, but this will scale your Chimera Shot as well, and when you refresh it, will refresh the Wyvern Sting. So the biggest thing here with this pull is to just burn down the first target, and be careful. The Geomancer does a flame strike on the ground. We'll want to avoid that as best we can. So once we burn down this 3-pack, we can basically go into the meat and potatoes of the grind. Number 3, we'll want to put Explosive Shot back on our glove rune. We'll then send our pet in, and the idea here is to go as deep as possible, and we want to pop Dash right off this little ledge here, which allows you to avoid a lot of stun RNG potential. Now, if you do get stunned, about 1 out of 10 pulls, you'll probably get stunned and have to reset. No big deal, just feign death. You can summon your pet and restart over. During the pull, we don't want to get a lot of Geomancers or Flame Walkers here at the end. These are casters. I've been able to do up to 4. But when I did start off and it was my first time, I only did 2 because it's hard to track them all. So once you get everything pulled, you can then click off your Eye of the Beast, which will despawn your pet. However, you'll see I'm using a level 37 Broken Tooth that I just touched base on. So my pet died here. Either way is perfectly fine. We'll then pull all the mobs back to the original starting location, and we'll begin doing the AoE. The biggest thing here, again, is to avoid the casters. So you'll want to target the casters, the Geomancer or Flamewalker, and you'll want to begin damaging them. You want those to die first. They're the most detrimental to the run. Fairly simple once we get this down, though, and we'll be able to kill everything and move on. Now, number 4, we can actually then send our pet back deep into the dungeon and continue doing the pull. It's pretty insane how far you could get. I mean, I was basically able to get about to the start of the original dungeon with this. However, I found once you hit about 12 minutes deep into the dungeon, you'll just want to go ahead and reset. That way you don't have to hit any type of lockout or worry about any of that. But at the same time, it's the most efficient to get the highest level mobs, which has the best drop chance of the relevant gear. If this helped you out, let me know in the comments below, and make sure you mash that like and subscribe. I cannot tell you how much that means. If you're really feeling like a croc, join the Croc Nation in the membership. And until next time, peace.